Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is December 18th, 2012. Thank you for tuning in. Let's jump right into the charts here. We'll start off with the usual S&P 500 E-mini futures. You will see that the futures are trading higher by about 4.5 points to 1437 per contract. It's a decent little move up after yesterday's big rally. The market did rally higher yesterday after some news came out late in the day that a fiscal cliff deal was very, very close. Also, a bank upgrade, I believe, as well, by the famous Meredith Whitney. So, again, markets did rally higher today. They're holding firm, at least gapping up a little bit this morning ahead of the opening bell. Now, traders need to be aware of this fiscal cliff news. Each and every day, we hear different scenarios. This coming Friday is options expiration. Tells us we're going to hear a lot of rumors this week, a lot of upgrades, downgrades, a lot of noise. So be prepared for a little bit of volatility. Right now, it looks like the latest news coming from the fiscal cliff is that the president has agreed to raise the threshold for taxes to incomes over $400,000 instead of the original raising of taxes for people making over $250,000. So that's the news out there this morning. That's the big news. The president has bent a little bit, but they also want the debt ceiling removed. They want the sequester removed. There's a lot of different things going on, and I think these negotiations are going to take a little while longer before they're finally ironed out. It's a give and take all the way around the board, but it still looks like I don't see anything happening here. In fact, John Corker, one of the politicians, was just on CNBC and said they're not even close to a deal. So, again, we'll see how it plays out. We'll hear news throughout the day. A lot of it is rumors, but again, it makes for volatile trading, and that's sometimes not a bad thing. So we'll see how it all plays out going forward. Couple of other things to watch for here. We'll talk about gold. Gold is up $2 this morning. Take a look at the GLD. Really not doing all that much, trading at 164.42. Closed at $164.44 yesterday. So it's basically right where it closed. Again, we'll watch the dollar closely. If the dollar gets any kind of a decent bid higher, then traders should be aware that gold could fall lower. Right now, I really don't see a lot of strength in gold, but hey, you never know what can happen out there. You never know what kind of chatter or rumors we're going to hear next. Let's take a look at oil today. You have light sweet crude trading higher by $56 a barrel to $87.74. Let's take a look at the USO. USO is a good proxy for crude, and that is catching a bid up around $32.14 right now. It closed at $32. So a little uptick there for the USO. Again, though, if the dollar gets any kind of a bid later in the day, traders should be aware oil prices could come down. Same goes for gasoline. So we'll see how that plays out a little bit later. But right now, you're getting a little bit of a bounce up. I think with the inflationary move in the overall indexes, that's helping to lift oil as well, at least at the moment. European markets this morning are basically all trading higher. Not by much, but they're all up by about 0.4%. I think the French CAC 40 is the only index that I see that is flat this morning, really not participating. And Spain is having a good day, up about 0.9% after a successful bond auction where interest rates were actually lower, so demand was higher for the bonds. We know that the European ECB, European Central Bank, is keeping the rates lower anyway on purpose. So I don't know how much we could draw from that, but that's the latest out of Europe. Last night, Asian markets were all basically flat to higher. Nothing really damaging there. The Shanghai index, which has been on fire as of late, was flat. The Nikkei index, which has also been on fire with all the money printing going on there, was up about 1%. So again, you're going to watch Japanese ADRs. They could be strong, and we'll see how that plays out going forward. This morning, it looks like Apple is catching a bid. Apple had that big reversal day yesterday. Let's take a look. Here's Apple stock. So Apple's catching a bid, trading above the 525 level. That's a decent little pop for Apple this morning. Closed at around 518 yesterday, so decent little morning pop. We'll see if it sticks. Again, it looks like Apple uh, was in the dispute to try to get Samsung products removed, and a judge said that the Samsung products will remain. So that's a little bit of a negative news, but nonetheless, stock is still doing okay this morning. So we'll see how that all shakes out going forward. Some other stocks in the news today: Toyota Motor. Toyota Motor is catching a pretty big bid. They're settling, I guess, a lawsuit. So they're paying out a lawsuit, and the stock is recovering a little bit this morning. That's a pretty sizable move. Closed at 86.59. Stock is trading at 88.50 now. I think the stock probably has further upside to go. It's coming off of a 1-week base. The Nikkei has been very, very strong with all the money printing. So do not look to short the Toyota Motor here. If it gets up to around 92, it may be a fade there. But right now, I mean, Toyota Motor is pretty strong at the moment. So I think the stock has more room to run. And it's coming off of a strong bullish base on the daily chart. So this stock is actually looking strong, at least at the start of the day. Allstate is buying back some shares, I think $1 billion worth. Ton of resistance around 42, even a little bit more resistance around 43. So again, I don't expect much more upside than that on Allstate, but it could get back up to that 42, potentially even 43 level. It's a fairly, it's a small gap, but it's fairly strong, at least at the moment. ARB, which is Arbitron, is getting bought out. I forget who it is. It may have been Nielsen or somebody, but Arbitron is being bought out. There is nothing to do here. If you own it, congratulations. Take the money off the table or trail your stop. If you don't own it, leave it alone. There's no play here at all. This is a takeover. So Arbitron is being bought out this morning. At least that's what I'm seeing. So you're going to want to leave that one alone. I believe it's being bought by Nielsen Holdings for $48 a share. So there's really not much you could do with that one going forward. I didn't see many other gaps that looked tradable this morning. Most of them were on the smaller end. Up 30, 40, 50, 60 cents. Nothing what we like to see, $1 or $2, $3. But nonetheless, that is what we're looking at this morning. So again, be prepared for a little bit of volatility, but overall, the markets look to be holding up pretty well, at least before the opening bell. But again, it's all about this fiscal cliff. It's going to be what we call a seesaw ride, up and down and all around. But the bottom line is, we'll see if they get anything done before the date. I think supposedly they're making progress, but I think any fiscal cliff deal will cause a short-term pop, but it's not going to be good for the economy, nor is it going to be good for the stock market. So it should be short-lived on any deal. With that said, everybody, I'm going to leave it there. Have a great trading day, and we will do it all again tomorrow. Take care, everyone.